if you're working out too close to your bedtime and you end up taking like pre-workout and things of that nature, then that could definitely mess up your sleep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Anything like that has
Like
caffeine, really, to try to avoid that before sleep.
yeah, for sure. I think pre-workout it should be
Yeah.
limited to like, early afternoon at most kind of thing. Like even
Yeah.
if you take it like in mid-afternoon, it could still mess up your sleep. Like ideally pre-workout you keep it for the morning. If you want, if you're about to hit a session in the early afternoon, then whatever,
Mm.
it's fine, but ideally in the morning I think is best for pre-workout and caffeine in general, right?
Yeah, I think honestly, like I have an interesting relationship with caffeine because like I've had like I am a student, so you know anybody that's a student can relate to the fact that sometimes when you make your schedule for a semester, it's just garbage. And it's like I had a semester where it's like just by coincidence, I would have to wake up at 6 a.m. every time I was working out, and then I would have to work out at like 8 p.m. at night. So already I would be like under rested, and I'd have like an entire day of school and
Mm.
then have to go to the gym. So like for me personally, like experimenting with caffeine like right before my workout, right after my last class, this and that, I noticed that like after experimenting a little bit with it, like I could find a leeway where it's like, hey, if I take a caffeine dose at this time, I'll be good for my workout, but then for sleeping, I'll still be okay. Like I'm not going to be up until 4 a.m. like
Mm.
at night.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So I think that's also an interesting thing about caffeine. It's like also the amount is really important because different pre-workouts have like a lot, like a very much varying like amount of caffeine. Like I have a friend who like he bought a pre-workout. I can't forget the name, but it was like literally one scoop is like 400 milligrams of caffeine, which is like ridiculous. Like that is probably like if you take that right before bed, you're not sleeping until the next night,
Yeah.
pretty
No.
much.
It's
Yeah, you won't sleep all week with that.
yeah.
Yeah, literally, like it's crazy. But it's like if you have like a little espresso, like 7, is that really gonna keep you up until 4 in the morning? I don't think so. Especially if you're like so underslept from the
But
day
it could
before
still
Yeah.
affect. It could still
or from
affect
just
the
the day in
quality of
general.
sleep because I've heard, with caffeine, like even little can go a long way because like caffeine has a quarter life, they say, of like 12 hours, meaning like let's say if you take 100 milligrams of
Oh
caffeine,
wow.
after 12 hours there's going to be 25 milligrams still left in your bloodstream, so then you have to wait longer than for that 25 milligram to get rid of your system. Yeah, like caffeine stays a long while. That's why like they recommend oh,
Oh,
cut out there.
Anthony, yeah, he came
Sorry
Yeah.
about
back.
that.
Oh, good.
No, yeah, because that's what I've heard. They recommend drinking caffeine, max until like 1 p.m. because of that 12-hour quarter life that caffeine has, to make sure at least until midnight, the caffeine is gone from your system. So, and that's the thing. Some people might think, oh, I'm able to sleep, but your quality of sleep is still affected without you maybe being aware of it. So that's what.
And then I guess I was just
Yeah, that's the
really
thing. Maybe
tired.
you were just
I
knocked
don't
out and
know.
you just, pass out and you sleep, but maybe, because you're going through different cycles throughout your sleep, and maybe you're not getting that good enough, rest, going through the deep cycles, the REM cycle, which is when, you're dreaming. So, so yeah, just to keep that in mind, because, one of the biggest performing enhancing drugs is your sleep, right? Having good sleep, it helps a lot in your performance. So yeah, to not skimp out on that. Have 7 to 9 hours each night is key.
And I think on the kind of the opposite side of the spectrum, like alcohol also has
Yes.
like an impact on
Mm-hmm.
sleep, right? Like I see, I'm drinking a little bit here,
Giving a
but
good example, man.
I'm not giving a good example here, but that could definitely impact your quality of sleep because they say that your REM sleep is actually affected
Mm-hmm.
by alcohol that you're drinking throughout the day,
Oh yeah.
and it's not good to drink alcohol too close when you go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also alcohol actually is not conducive to
Hmm.
muscle gain either. like it slows down the rate of hypertrophy as well, which is something that I learned. I not really recently, but like I've known for a little while. And it's like that's also something you have to take into account because not only is it messing with your sleep, but it also messes with the
Alcohol
muscles
is
Yeah.
just,
to a certain degree.
not great all in all, just best to limit as much as possible. Yeah, especially before sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And universities filled with that, right? Caffeine, alcohol.
Yeah, it's an interesting place to be. Also, terrible sleep schedules. Yeah,
Yeah.
all three of them pretty much.
They're not advocating for successful gains in university. You're just advocating for successful students and good grades.
Maybe Athlete X's new video is gonna be,
Yeah,
what's killing your
that's
gains? Your school.
It's like a Jeff Cavalier video.
Drop out.
yeah. I wonder where he's gonna put the fake wigs in that
Oh
one.
god. Do they have
Uh,
fake weights in university?
nah, I hope not. I mean, or else that uni gym is a bit of a scam, but
That's
I really
scary.
hope not.
Uh